Okay, I have lots to talk about today, but I want to pull my documents up before I get started, so bear with me a minute. I'm actually pulling up content from the Institute today to talk to you guys about, and I am literally in the middle of finishing the 17th week. I'm almost done, so everything is kind of crazy in my files. If you saw it right now, you'd wonder how I'm alive. So I'm looking for the content that I want to share with you, so give me a second. Okay, I'm gonna have to type it in. Okay, Claudia, by the way, I just sent you, I sent you an email that was with my VA. I copied you on an email to her. So I did an introduction with you guys. I'm gonna let you take it from there. She's awesome. Like, she's just so on it. Like, I can ask her to do something and she's automatic responder. I mean, she saved my life for the last over a year now, and I love her. So I hope, it's a good.
Yeah. That's what I need, because I'm on the ball and I need somebody like me.
Yeah, she's like that. And I like a fast responder, like you and I both. Like, if you message me, I'm usually pretty much right there answering you back, even if it just says I'll look at this later, and you're the same way, which I really appreciate, because I don't like to wait. It's just me. I don't have any patience pants. I tell my son to put his on, and then I'm like, well, I don't have any, so I can't ask too much of him. Okay, all right. I got my documents open. So as always, when we're in meeting mode, you guys, I just mute everybody. But if you want to talk, like, unmute yourself. This isn't formal. I'm not, don't worry about interrupting me. I'm good with that. First thing I want to say is we are. What is the date today? The 31st, literally 18 days away from the Institute opening. I know a lot of you are actually signed up you signed up on the last thing that I did with the Health Coach Mentorship Mastery, where I included the enrollment for the Institute for free. And I just want to make sure that everybody understands the reason that I did that promotion. And I've said this before, but again, we have a lot of new people in this group now. And a lot of people that are really excited and waiting for the Institute to open. But the reason I did that was because it's super important to me that when we do a first launch of this Institute, that we have people that are able to go in and that want to go in, be committed to doing the work, and start carrying through this functional coaching process that I'm teaching. But more than that, just to tell other people about the school, talk about the school, tell people what you're learning, share your experience. And also, not only that, but I shared the school content with you guys. And that the format it's in right now is not user friendly, because when we opened the school last fall with the new content, I overloaded the system. Like, I literally was creating content. Kathy can attest to this. I'd be like, oh, I'm going to do a lesson around that. And then I would create a lesson literally before the next lesson we had. And I just couldn't stop creating content. The more I learned that coaches needed and the bigger holes that I saw, it was like I almost couldn't stop. And so it got to be too much for the school that it was living in, which is a WordPress plugin. If you guys know anything about some of that, I don't. I just know that it didn't work. So we're moving into Thinkific, and I wanted the people that had access to that content and that bought that $9.97 special, I wanted you to have a true Institute experience. And so that's why I gave you that content for free. So anyway, that's coming up on the 18th. The webinar is September 7th. If you want to affiliate, and you guys, I'm paying out. Hey, Lucky, sorry, got a new dog. He likes to bark. Hey, buddy, that's enough. I'm paying out already. I've got almost $5,000 that I am literally just PayPaling to people already, just from one little opening that are affiliates. So if you want to make some money, passive income, just let me know. Sign up for the affiliate program. I have a very, very massive payout of 40% of the enrollment. So what that looks like if you're new to an affiliation and making money on other people's stuff. First of all, if you don't believe in what I'm doing, then I don't want you to promote me, but you wouldn't be here if you didn't. It's important to me that we affiliate with people that have integrity and that are authentic and that we believe in what they're doing. So I don't affiliate with people unless I understand and believe what they're doing. It's just the way I roll. The other thing is when you affiliate with this program, you sign up, you get a link, it's all written out for you, you share it, someone attends the webinar for free. And if that person signs up or enrolls in the Institute from your affiliate link, your unique link, then you get 40% of the enrollment fee of $34.97. I think what is the payout on that? Someone do the math. Kathy, you do the math and put it in the chat. But anyway, you just get that. Just PayPal. Just poof, it's in your account. You don't have to talk to anybody. You don't have to do any calls. You don't have to attend the webinar even. You just get paid. So if you're interested in doing that, let me know. Reach out. We've got people signing up every day. So we've got a lot of people signed up for this webinar. I'm really excited about it. The other thing I want to announce is that I am filling the Institute up a little bit at a time with health coaches. In fact, today, and I'm not sure if Kim is on here or not. So here's kind of how it rolls. Claudia and I had a conversation last week. Kathy is helping with the Institute. She's part of it. I'm trying to make sure that coaches are the driving force behind the Institute and what we do and how we teach and how we learn and how we help students. And so I watched a thread come through from Kim Leethorpe today. She was answering to Tara. You guys might have seen this in the Health Coach Mentorship and Mastery. It was about genetics and SNPs and all of that, methylation and all of that, right? Right? Kathy's like rolling her eyes. Okay. So that's an important topic. It's up and coming in the health coaching world. Like people are like, what's methylation? Why do we need to know about it? Well, we don't have to take a course that's $6,000 to learn about methylation. Obviously, we can learn about it on our own, but wouldn't it be nice to have a shortcut to it, right? Someone that could understand that. And Kim gave such a great description of it. She's like diving in head first to methylation and she's loving it. So I have reached out to her. I haven't read an email back from her yet, but asking her, would she want to create a content of training for methylation, because she seems to have a unique grasp on it. And she gets to put a price tag on that training, and she gets to put her training in the Institute to share with other coaches. So I'm looking for those opportunities from people like you. Joan is going to do a training on fibromyalgia. I mean, like, if you have something you're passionate about and you love and you want to teach other people how to do it and how to help people, reach out to me and let me know. And I'd be happy to consider you as being a part of the Institute. It's important that I support you all and lift everybody up, with the same kind of support that you've given me. So Kathy said $13.98 rabbit hole. I don't know what the rabbit hole is, but oh yeah, methylation, right? But $13.98 is the payout, you guys, on that affiliation program. So keep that in mind. So the other thing I wanted to mention is tomorrow we are doing session 3 with Taylor. As long as everything's good with her. We've done 2 client trainings with Taylor using the intake forms. So if you are new, you get the intake forms just by being a part of the membership to use with your clients. I'm showing you how to go through the process. I'm showing you how to do these client intakes in an hour and 15 minutes, saving you time, keeping you consistent, lowering the risk in your practice. Please try to make sure you watch them, session 1, session 2, or in order so you can see how it works. You can see the recommendations I send afterwards and so on. So Taylor had significant stress on the day we were supposed to have our session last time. I mean, crazy stress. 2 deaths within, I think, 2 weeks of each other in her family, and her sister diagnosed with lupus. So needless to say, she was not in the mood to focus on her own self to do her 3rd session, but it's going to be interesting to see how she was able to navigate the stress in a different way this time, because we've been working with her. And so that will be tomorrow, I think at 12 o'clock. Yeah. Okay. So try to be here for that and try to watch the other 2 first. The other thing I wanted to let you know, hold on a minute, is we have Instagram training coming Friday the 15th. Yay for Claudia, right? And anyone else that wants to come, of course. But Tammy Cannon is kind of like a social media guru. So she's going to do some Instagram training for you guys, show you how to maximize using Instagram for your business. And that's on the 15th at 12 o'clock. And again, if you're new to this mentorship group, I'm always trying to bring you what you need. So if there's training you want to see happen, let me know what it is. I will find someone, bring them to you, or I will do it. If I have the experience and whatever the topic is, I'm happy to do it for you. But if I don't, I'm not going to pretend I do. I'm going to get you somebody that does, okay? And then we also have Michelle McConnell. This is looking out a bit, but I'm trying to book people because we're getting busy this fall. October the 5th, Michelle McConnell is doing a canva.com training. She's going to show you how to do some really easy, simple stuff with Canva. So like you see all those pretty ads people do, right, on their Facebook groups or in their business pages. It looks like they hired someone to do them. They're like 6-minute ads, right, Claudia, right? I mean, it takes you so little time, but you got to know how to do it. So we've got Michelle coming to us to share how to do that. 12 o'clock, October the 5th. And usually when I'm bringing you guys people, it's people I wished that I had for me, because I was like, I don't get it. How do you drag and drop? How do you upload? How do you do that? I don't get it. So I figured if I struggled with it, other people are struggling too, right? Okay, then the last announcement, and then we're going to get to the outsourcing conversation, is October the 10th. We've got Balanced Bites, Diane Sanfilippo, coming to us at 3:30 Central. It's an odd time for me, but she's in California, or she's on the West Coast. She is coming to talk to us about business. Now, if you don't know Diane Sanfilippo, then you must lift your rock and climb out from underneath it, because she is one person who has been in the health coaching business and the health coaching world for longer than most, and she is a no BS business girl. She wrote Practical Paleo. She is on the Balanced Bites podcast. Like, she's big time, and she's going to be bringing us some great information on business. I'm super excited that they agreed to commit to this. So yay for that one. Okay. All right. Any questions about any of that before we get rolling here? Everybody's good to go, right? Okay. So save the date. All of the events are loaded into the Health Coach Mentorship and Mastery under events on the events side of the page as we go along, and don't put them in too far ahead of time, because I don't want people to forget that they've signed up for it, or that it's going to happen. Mary says she's not able to keep sound connected today. Is everybody else okay with sound? Okay. And just as an FYI and a reminder, I'm like a gunslinger when it comes to how I talk. I am freaking quick when I speak. So if I'm too fast for you, tell me to slow down. But I like to cover a lot of content, and I don't like to waste anybody's time. So let's talk about outsourcing today. I've got my double monitor up, so I'm looking this way at some things and pulling things over as I talk. So this is a lesson, and I'm going to share my screen with you guys in just a second. And Claudia, you're up on my screen, so when you see it, let me know. Okay, so this is how non-technical I am and how little I knew about outsourcing when I started. Y'all ready for this? I didn't even know what the word outsource meant. I'm like, what does that mean? Outsourcing. Because someone said, what are you outsourcing? I'm like, I don't know. And they're like, how can you not know the answer to that? And so then I would reach out to other coaches, and they're like, well, who are you outsourcing your writing to? I'm like, I don't even know what that means. Why won't someone just say? So then I Googled. I'm like, outsourcing. Oh, that's what it means. Duh. Okay. Well, obviously I wasn't outsourcing enough, because I didn't even know what it meant. So outsourcing means hiring experts to do the work you don't have time to do or don't want to do. And that's my definition. If someone had just said that simply to me, what are you hiring someone else to do that you don't want to do or you don't have time to do? I would have been like, oh, well, I'm not hiring anyone yet, right? Outsourcing is 100% necessary, you guys, when you are building your business. And I don't mean when you're just certified out of school, just kind of, getting used to what it means to have the title of a health coach. I mean, okay, you're starting to get some clients. You're working on your website. You're starting to do some talks. People are asking about you. You're getting referrals. Business seems to uptick just a bit, and you're getting a little bit overwhelmed. So that might mean sitting down at your desk and having your list of to-dos, and you look at them and your heart rate goes up a little bit, and then you start typing an email, and then you zip over to answer a Facebook message, and then you look at your calendar about your client. You start to lose focus and lose track of what you're supposed to be doing to get your priorities done. That is a good sign it's time to outsource. And so outsourcing, to me, here's what it looks like. Spending 2 hours working on a website that didn't even work for me at all. That was ridiculous. Like I always tell everybody, it was pretty, because I like to look at pictures and put them in things, and I like to make pretty fonts and stuff, but the damn thing did nothing for me. It did nothing. It didn't work for me at all. I didn't have an opt-in. I didn't have a sign-in sheet. I didn't have anything. So I spent 2 hours just on one day putting pictures in to make it look pretty. When I outsourced my website, it was literally like hours were added to my schedule. So has anybody ever heard of Dave Ramsey's book about getting out of debt? Is anybody familiar with that? Okay, how he takes his budget and he has people create their budget with their worst debt down to the lowest payment of their debt, right? That's kind of how outsourcing is. So listing your things out, the things that are the most, the hardest for you to do, that are the most expensive to do, and making a list down to the thing that you would like to outsource. It isn't that expensive. And you know that it would benefit you. It's almost like that, like taking those things that are going to be the least painful financially, but give you the biggest relief emotionally and physically, so that you can move into the things that you're passionate about. Focus on that. So, and here's the thing, I have a lot of coaches that are stuck in a money mindset set of lack. And I'm not judging anyone, because I was there too, that say, well, I can't afford to hire anyone right now. I can't afford to purchase that yet. I can't afford to do that. Well, if you keep telling yourself that message, you never will. Hands down, never, ever, ever, ever will be able to afford to get some help if you keep telling yourself that story. So let's go back to the sheet. If you are not passionate about something, you need to find somebody is, and you need to pay them to do it. I'm going to give you some ideas on how to find people like that in just a minute, but just know that there's a person for everything. I mean, you could literally hire someone to come over and cut your toenails at this point in our lives, right? Anyone can do anything from anywhere, locally, online, it does not matter. I, at one point, had 6 different people outsourced that were doing like YouTube and this and this and this. And then I finally found the one person that could do it all for me. So I got to let all those other people go. I had so many people working in different time zones, you guys. I had Pakistan, Korea, United Kingdom. I was confused about where I was living by the time I got done with all of that. And it was so stressful. So for me, I was like, I need one person that can tie it up with a pretty bow. And that's who I hired. And that's where all my money goes. But I don't recommend that. I recommend you starting with that one task that is going to relieve you, that isn't going to financially break you, and start there. Okay, but if you see yourself going down the rabbit hole of hiring people all over the place and getting overwhelmed, it's time to sit back and say, how do I need to restructure this? But if you're swamped and need help from getting out, from under that pile of work that you're dreading, you don't understand, it really truly is time to look out, okay? And I'm going to drag that over in just a second. So remember this when you talk about not being able to afford something. You can write about 99% of your business expenses off for taxes. So literally, if I like when I went to California, I didn't want to get on a shuttle to go to the hotel. I hired an Uber. I kept the receipt. I wrote off the Uber. When I was doing something at a coffee shop, I bought a coffee and something, I don't know, like a gluten-free bar or something like that. I wrote that off because I was working in a coffee shop. Like, don't forget about those small things that can really add up. If you are driving to your client's house or to meet them, that gas money is a write-off. If you buy something on Fiverr for $25, you keep that receipt, you write it off. Okay, everything is considered for a write-off. My accountant is like, she told me, she said, if you get your eyebrows waxed to go to an appointment and you've never waxed your eyebrows for any other reason, you write that off. Like, that is how clear you can get on writing things off. So if I go to TJ Maxx, which I love TJ Maxx, my husband's like, that place is it's a black hole of shit. I'm like, because there's so much stuff. But I go in there and you have to send in search and rescue because I love it. Because you can buy stuff there, to wear for webinars or for things like that. Wear it once or twice, write it off, and then you can donate it to Goodwill or resell it or something like that. So even writing your clothes off for your appointments is something that you should consider, okay? And Dawn, you look so nice, by the way. You look so nice. Look how professional. Our hair is all done. Oh my gosh, I need someone to come over and do that for me. I could write that off too. So anyway, just don't underestimate the write-offs, you guys. All right, and think about it like this. Time is money. It truly, truly is money. So if you're spending your time doing things you don't like, when you could be using that time to do the things that make you money and the things you love, you're not spending your time or your money wisely. So I want to do this. I want to talk to you guys. I want to teach. I want to interact. I want to do lives, answer questions, and create content. I don't want to do any of the other stuff. In fact, yesterday I had to make a call to my merchant and ask him to lower my interest rate when the school opens because I'm like, I'm going to be bringing in quite a significant amount of income to the merchant. I wanted to hire someone to call him because I didn't want to do it. But no one else can talk about my money. So when I called him, I literally sat there just like half of what he said was literally skimming my head. And I said, can you just send me an email? Because I can't focus on that because I'm not interested in it. That's how I have taken my business. Like if I'm not interested, I can't focus. Send me an email so I can do it later. All right. So an action step might be to make a list of things that need to be done, that you absolutely know have to be done to move forward in your business. Website, content writing, proofing material, blogging, editing. I don't care if it's changing the color on the background of a group page. Whatever it is, if it's a priority for your business, make a list, then highlight the things that you dread or you don't know enough about to get done easily. Start thinking about how you can outsource those things, those projects one at a time. And again, it's easy to say you can't afford it, but if you're trying to build your business, you can't afford to not invest in it. So again, don't forget when you get started, you may need to take that money that you're making from that one client or that one group class, put it right back into your business, but that's completely normal. That's just the way we get started. And as an example, I'm going to drag this other sheet over in just a second. As an example, like my brother-in-law owned a gym, a fitness center, and that is one of the hardest businesses in the world. It's a high burnout job to be a personal trainer in a fitness, owning a fitness business. He opened a juice bar on the front. It was a great concept, great idea. Supplements, natural juices, and then training in the back with personalized attention and so on. 7 years later, he still wasn't making money because he was doing it all by himself, all alone, running both of those things except for one person doing juices. He got out from underneath that, got some good business training, changed his location, shut down the juice bar, hired some trainers. He's now coming above the red. But that's just a good example. 6 years. I don't want to go 6 years without making money. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm not interested in that. Okay. Does anybody have any questions about anything so far? Is anybody struggling to outsource or thinks you have to do it all yourself? Or is anybody one of those people? Oh, come on. I am one of those people. I thought that I am the person, like, if, no one's going to do it better than me, right? No one's going to do it the way I want it to be done. Now, that was Claudia. I knew that was coming. But that's true. It's absolutely true. So what's another thing we have to consider is that sometimes we have to let go of the things that we really think that we should be doing and trust that there's someone else out there that can do better than us, right? It's true. That's one of the hardest things for me to do. A recovering perfectionist like me has to have faith in other people that they are capable of doing the things that I cannot take time to do or that I don't want to do. So that's another thing that holds coaches back, is that they want to have their finger on every single button. And sometimes when you take your finger off the button, you get screwed. You may hire the wrong design team, like I did in December, that almost cost me $3,000. If I had not fought to get my money back, I would have been in the hole. Sometimes you get screwed and sometimes you don't, and you find a gem. So the gem on my team is Kaylee. Mike is also another one, but as far as like, I'm talking about this list here, the common duties that I learned to outsource, is Kaylee. You guys see her talking in my groups. You probably get emails from her. She is the person that runs ClickFunnels. She's the person that does my emails. She writes my proofs so that I can proof them, and she sends them out. She is setting up the entire Institute funnel system and I'm like, I could not live without her. For me to take over everything she is doing, it would be another 3 years before my school would get open. So just keep that in mind. That is how fast forwarded like my business has gotten with her. So she is a diamond in the rough. She is somebody I could not do without. So I have to say that sometimes when we take our finger off the button, we hand over control to someone else and we're nervous about it, we just have to have faith that we're doing the right thing. And with this situation, that is exactly where I am with Kaylee. I have faith. I trust her 100%. I don't even want to see half the stuff she does because she's always on the money. All right, so designing a website and branding. Now, Carol is somebody that's doing my current website work. She is doing the branding with it. She does an amazing job. And I have to say, Claudia, I had you on my outsourcing sheet for graphics and stuff like that, but then we had a conversation that you're kind of moving a little bit further away from that. So I thought, and you were talking about doing that more done for you type of stuff, which you were happier in. So I was like, well, I don't want to take her off, but then again, I felt like, well, I don't want to promote her either if that's not what she wants to do. So that's why you're not there anymore. But I wanted to be completely transparent about that. Also web hosting and security. Another thing I want to let you guys know, if you're doing your own website and you aren't familiar with security and you don't have security set up, 100% you've got to make sure that you have security. I had a coach a couple of weeks ago that I was mentoring, and she insisted on doing her own website, and it's pretty. It's nice. She's very proud of it, and she should be, but she had no idea there's no security whatsoever, and she's capturing email addresses and names. Now, that's just an example of if it is not your thing and you're not knowledgeable about the back end of all of that, where you can almost get yourself in trouble, okay? Okay, editing and proofing. If you choose to do this yourself, which, it's fine if you like to write, use Grammarly.com. Is anybody using Grammarly.com? Oh, yeah, right? Dawn's like me. Me too. I love it. Even if it tells me I used a word too many times, sometimes I just flip it off and go on because I want to use that word. But at least it tells me, okay, you're overusing a word. It's an amazing resource if you want to write your blogs in there, or you're doing a business proposal for someone that you want to get in and work in their business. Just take a look at it. It's a great proofing resource. Blogging. So this is one of those things that I thought was such a priority when I started coaching. Someone said, if you want to get seen, you've got to start blogging, you've got to put yourself out there, and that's the way to do it, and you can make money and ads. And I'm like, okay, because I love to write. And then I felt like the ultimate pressure of blogging every week was more than I could stand. Like I could not stand it. So I actually even went out and got a girl to do a recipe section for me. So she started doing some recipes, and we started tucking them into the blog, which relieved me about 2 times a month to not have to blog. So it is important. It's a great way to get people to pay attention to you. But if it's not something you're loving or you're interested in, you can still make it work for you. Get someone to guest post for you. Ask someone if you can use their blog. If it'll give them, it'll give them exposure. But ask them if you can use their blog. As long as you refer to them and you link out to them, most people are happy to share their content. But just kind of make sure that that's a piece of you that is constantly just kind of moving forward. Even if it moves forward like once every couple of weeks, you're posting a blog, because people do tend to go to those blogs and read information. I've had to step it up myself, but it's not my favorite thing to do. Okay, so virtual assistants, which it's VA, by the way. I was like, VA, what's that? When I first heard that term, when I was coming online a couple of years ago. What's a VA? Well, there's a VA office that's attached to the government down in Clarksville. What do they mean by that? Virtual assistant, duh. Okay, that's what that stands for. So they can do a lot of things for your business. Like anything a personal assistant would do sitting next to you or in an office, in a brick and mortar business, they can do online. So hold on a second. Where's my resource page? I'm gonna look for it in just a second. Oh, there you are, Claudia. That's for your design, but not for your website. I knew I'd moved you somewhere, but I couldn't remember where. But a VA can do email automation, respond to your website requests, look up information, organize files, all of that. I'm almost putting the label of VA on Kathy, because I just ask her and she's like, yeah, I can do that. And then I'll say, well, can you do this? She's like, yeah, I can do that. I'm like, she's kind of sliding into that role for me, which I love. She may not want that title, but it's that person that you can just depend on to either do what you need them to do or learn to do what you need them to do. And I have one that I shared with Claudia. Her name is Amy as well. And again, Amy will tell me this, a good VA is going to say to you, no, that's not my strength. It's not something I can do. Or yes, I absolutely am comfortable doing that. Or I'm happy to learn how to do that. Right? One of the things I had asked my VA to do was to load up a video to YouTube, and she doesn't have a YouTube account. She's like, I'm not going to open a YouTube account just for that one thing. And I totally appreciate that honesty. And so she gave me the link and we're going to do it on my account. But those are the things you're looking for: open communication, someone's responsible, they're reliable, and they're relatively, I don't want to say inexpensive, but you can get one that's inexpensive when you first get started. But again, as you grow, you get what you pay for, okay? This industry is all about you get what you pay for. You get the website that you pay for, you get the training that you pay for when it comes to, your business launching, things like that. So just keep that in mind. And then, of course, there's Claudia, and she's in my lower right-hand corner there. But she's great at this graphic design stuff, you guys. So if you need any help with that kind of thing, and she's a big fat giver like me. So if you ask for one thing, she's going to give you 5. I think I asked her to do a couple of banners for my institute. She gave me 12? I'm like, what? I mean, it was just awesome. So these are the people that know that when you give, that you don't give because you're expecting something to get back. You just know that the world is going to take care of you, and you give with a generous and kind and cheerful heart. Okay. And that's what Claudia does. That's what Kaylee does. That's what Mike does. That's what I try to do. So look for people that are like that. Okay. And Kathy does that too, by the way. All right. So there's so much more you can outsource for your business. But I think one of the things that we might forget about when it comes to outsourcing and actually doing it in your home as well. So I'm going to tell you a story, a little personal story about myself, which I know you guys love when I get on one of these tangents, but I'm just going to wide open transparency. I have OCD about my floors in my house. Like, I am one of those people that I get on my hands and knees with gardener's pads on my knees, and I clean my hardwood floors on my knees once a week. Okay. I used to do my floors 4 times a week on my knees. Like, I don't know what it was. Maybe it's because I have dogs and a child and all of that. And it was the one thing I hung on to for dear life. I was like, no one will ever clean my floors the way that I do. I can't function in my home or work in my home if my floors aren't clean. Don't ask me why. It just is my thing. Finally, I got so busy, I was like, I'm going to have to hire someone. I bit the bullet and I hired someone. And I have to tell you, when I came in after the first time they cleaned, I was looking for something to be wrong so that I could take it back and do it myself. Knowing how much stress it put me under, I was like, no one can do it like me. I couldn't find one dog hair. I literally could not find a dog hair. I couldn't find a drop of urine on the tile from my boys. She did an amazing job. And that almost put that faith in me that, you know what, that is a sign. You've got to trust that other people are out there able to help you, even with this side of your life. which is your home. Okay. So just remember, we can't do this alone. You cannot be Superwoman, Superman. We've got to have help if we want to build our business. All right. So I'm going to close this for a minute and look for, I'm going to look for that other file, see if I can find it. All right. Mary says she lost sound again. Okay. Well, that was earlier. All right. So I'm looking in chat here. Kathy said I keep a credit card for all business expenses for easy tracking. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I have a file. I just keep printing receipts and stuffing them in there. And then I pray at the very end of the year that I can get it all put in order. I have no organization with that. If I could fly someone in to come in and take over all of that for me, I would do it in a second. Yeah, Jill says she does the same thing. I got to get better at doing it right away too. So Kathy, why don't you unmute yourself for a second? And I want to ask you a question. Claudia says, I want to hire a clean like my man last. We live in a 2-bedroom condo. I get it. Yeah, hold on a second. But you should if it's overwhelming you to clean it, right? I mean,
I hate it. I'd rather do anything but clean. And he's like, are you kidding? We don't live in a house. Like, I don't care. It's big enough.
Yeah. And it's a stressful thing because it's always in the back of your mind. Yes. It's something you don't want to do. Mm-hmm. And sometimes just the thought of something that I don't want to do is enough to make me, feel even like just get in a bad mood or feel negative about what I do want to do. Because sitting there weighing over you. I get it. Tell your man that you're going to hire a cleaning person once a week, right? Yeah. Okay. All right, Kathy. So are you organized with all of your stuff for the year? Like, when tax time comes around, does your kitchen island have stacks of receipts and piles and notes everywhere like mine? Or are you like, here you go? Really? For real?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So tell us how you do that while I look for this file. You're that person. You're like...
Well, I've actually been doing my own taxes and had several of my own businesses for the last 15, 20 years. So I went to a CPA and he actually taught me how to do it. And, like I said, the credit card helps me keep everything organized. So I put all of my receipts and my credit card statements in a monthly file.
Okay.
And I just put everything there. And then I also, when I have online receipts, I have a file called 2017 receipts. I put all of my receipts there. So they're one of two places. I don't necessarily print them all when they're on my computer until the end of the year, but that's how I organize them and keep everything straight.
Oh my God. Okay. I need help. I'll go in and I know that I said I would print that later. And then I'm scrolling through the Mac, like trying to figure out which one was it? Which one was I supposed to print later? And then I end up saving it's a nightmare.
Well, label them, right when you see that, or you can even go search for receipts.
Oh, you can you?
Yeah, search for receipts and then you can click them off that way.
Okay, so, all right. Thank you for that. That sounds simple. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. I'm going to create something that says receipts over here on my email. And I'm just going to start tucking them in there. I'm going to try that because sometimes my printer works and sometimes it doesn't. Okay. I'm going to open up this. I think this is the one. Yes. Okay. So this isn't really it's not the outsourcing file, but it is going to give you some ideas of where to look if you need to get some help with your business and some of the things that you're doing. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Can you see that getting started with the basic stuff? Can you guys see that? Yep. Okay. All right. So this is really just kind of some ideas of where you can, and all the blue stuff in here is, linkable and all of that. And I'll share these with you guys. I'll tuck them into the Health Coach Mentorship thing for you. But like I said, a lot of people go to Fiverr or other logo sites if you're on a budget, and that's fine. But I want to talk about the logo real quick because I think there's and I remember last fall that we had a couple of students that were just getting started. This is one of the getting started forms from the Institute, and it's from Course Material. Every single day that I would log on to our student page, and you may remember this too, Kathy, they were getting input on their logos. Do you remember that? Do you remember? Okay. So that told me, and it was like, it went on. It was like, what do you think about the font? What do you think about the color? Do you like the placement? What do you think about this? Could I put this on the back? What about this? And it was like, okay, so I'm seeing a lot of time being spent by these people on a logo. So that meant when you're spending that much time, that means everything else is just sitting there waiting for you, right? And so then I remember watching the feed and I'd be like, okay, so how did you start how are you looking for clients right now? Well, I haven't gotten there. And I'm like, well, have you not gotten there because you're working on your logo? Because we're 2 weeks in and I'm seeing the same kind of proofing about the logo, right? So then I kind of scooted off and had a private conversation with one of the girls, and she said, she was working so hard on the logo because she was afraid to actually go out and try to get clients. So she was using the logo to deter herself from actually getting out of her house and going out locally and trying to find people to work with. So she was doing it out of fear. So I'm not saying everybody does that. I'm saying it can be that way. But with a logo, if you don't know what you want your logo to be and you need to have flyers or cards made, just put your face on it. Have someone take a good picture of you, load it up to, Vistaprint, and have some cards made like that and let the logo be for a little while. It is one of the things I think that trips coaches up with getting started, is that they think they have to have this amazing logo that speaks to their brand and it's everything. And then they just sit there and they don't do anything. Okay. I've had 3 logos in the last 4 years because I've been changing my brand, and you can do that. So don't worry so much about this part is what I'm saying. Just use your picture, get your flyers made with your photo, get your services on there, and get out there and start doing that. But do be selective. Once you do decide to go, to solidify yourself, you've got some money and you want to spend it on a logo, you're going to get what you pay for. So hire someone to do a good job for you. All right, so print materials. So you can do this stuff on Vistaprint. You can do it on FedEx. You can create your own. But again, I don't know if you're like me, but once I start to design something, I will try on every font. It's like having 60 pairs of black pants at the store. You're like, I think I need to try on every pair of black pants. One of them's going to be perfect. I'm that way with fonts. Anybody else like that? I'm like, I like this one. I like this one. And then usually it's an hour and a half goes by and I'm like, I don't even have a business card yet. So if that's you and you know it's going to suck you down the hole, find somebody else to do your design for you, right? I mean, seriously, I can't be the only dysfunctional one here. Okay, online advertising, creation, resources, Canva. As I mentioned, we're going to have some training on that. Yay! But even if you're just brand new and you are wanting to make something quick, go on Canva and just try it. Just make something quick. Do a Facebook ad, banner, whatever. Play around with it even before we get to the training. It is really, really simple. Does anybody use PicMonkey, or has anybody used it? No. I heard some people love it, and I just think Canva's so much easier. I don't know. I tried PicMonkey, and then no, we didn't work out. All right. So again, we've already talked about the website. One thing I do want to mention, though, and I've said this before, is this can be a place where people get hung up and stuck, thinking they have to have 5 pages of a website perfectly designed and everything has to look beautiful and all of that. And I can tell you right now, I'm redesigning 2 websites to the tune of about $6,000, and I'm only getting about 9 pages with all of it. But it is it's got to be a specific way because of the way I need it to function, because I'm opening the school. So normally it wouldn't be that much, but I am. It's probably going to be a little more than that. But anyway, you don't have to have that, is what I'm saying. You have to have a homepage and a place that people can contact you, and an opt-in form, which I highly recommend, just to get started. That's all you need. You need a little page with your face on it, your business name, a way for people to contact you, tell them a little bit about yourself, and a way to capture email addresses and newsletters. You don't have to have 5 pages to have a website. 1 page, it actually does, it counts as a website. And you can slowly invest into that, okay? So if you are, opening your business, you're doing online, you're local, whatever, I really do believe we need that 1 page that we can send people to. Not only just because it gives us gives us a face, really, but it's also a way for us to say, when we're out in public, or if we're talking on Facebook, wherever we're planning to spend our time, if someone says to you, hey, Dawn, I've been watching you and seeing what you're posting, and I'm interested in learning more about Whole Foods. Can you tell me more about that? I've got this problem. I've got rheumatoid arthritis, and the next thing you know, you're getting their story, and then you're getting sucked in, and then The best way to answer people like that is to say something like this. I would love to be able to walk through that with you and share what I know with you. So why don't we do this to make it easy? Go out to my website and fill out that contact form so I can immediately get back in touch with you. That stops all of that inquiry and, oh, but wait a minute, is it true that nightshades are bad for your joints? And, and then on and on. Because that is a liability. It is a risk. Everything that comes out of your mouth can be constituted as you telling them what to do. So in order to avoid that at all costs, just basically have a website and a place where they can contact you. And either they will or they won't, right? So if they don't, then they're not interested in help. And guess what? Thank God, they're gone, right? But you deterred them from getting too much from you, spending too much of your energy and time on them by sending them to a place to ask for more help. And I'm a really big believer that, you know, I've had some coaches say, well, if I don't answer their questions, then they're not going to sign up with me. You know, I had a girl that went to Business After Hours, and she was like, you know, she was really interested. And then I told her to go to my website and never heard from her again. Well, count your blessings. Because if she can't take that time to fill out that form, then she's not interested in feeling better. And she's not interested in working with you, and she wasn't supposed to. So I encourage people not to spend too much time worrying about the ones that don't stick around and focus on the ones that do. The ones that are committed are the ones you want to work with, not the ones that are just trying to get all your information for free. Okay. We've already talked about blogging, but again, FYI, I want to make this simple for you guys, you know, because if blogging is where you want to be, pick a topic. This is as simple as picking a topic. Search for an online article that speaks to your beliefs about it. Do a quick intro to it, 4 or 5 paragraphs, cite your resource, share the article, okay? Unless that particular person that you pulled the article from specifically says you cannot share or use their information, then of course don't, right? But if you went out to my website and you said, hey, Carmen, I want to use this article on sleep, do you mind? I'd be like, sure, take it, you know, but cite me. That's all I ask you to do. And then there, you've spent 5 minutes getting a topic, and now your blog is up. You don't have to worry about it for a week. It's a really simple way to fill that space. We already talked about guest blogging, sharing someone else's, hiring a ghostwriter, which also, I have to say this too, keeping in mind when we outsource that, yes, we're hiring someone to do the things that we don't want to do, but we also want to make sure that they're not doing something that we don't believe in, right? So something that doesn't represent us well. So anytime that Kaylee writes an article or does an email, she sends it to me in Asana and I proof it. So if there's things in there that don't feel good to me, then I'll be like, meh, I don't like that. That's not accurate about who I am or what I do. Let's change it. Because no one's ever going to know you like you know yourself, right? So Kaylee knows me really, really well, but there are still pieces that she doesn't know about me. So I always want to come across as I am and not as I think people want me to be. Does that make sense to you guys? Yeah. So practicing authenticity in this business is the only way to be, period. Don't try to act like you're some super healthy, amazing person with all this money if you're a person that's struggling with your health and not making any money. You know what I mean? We all know who those people are. So, well, at least I think we do. Okay, online presence. So without saying names, I'm just going to move right on past that one. Kathy's laughing because she knows who I'm talking about. Okay, so this is a great way to have meetings, meet people face-to-face, you know, set yourself up to not have to leave the house, wear your pajama bottoms on your bottom and your nice top on your top, and get people to know who you are. I really love Zoom. I talk about it all the time. I don't think anyone's ever even used my affiliate URL. I've had it for a year. I've never made a dime off of them, but I continue to promote them because they're awesome and their customer service is super friendly and they're affordable and they allow you to up your plans or take them down according to your business. So there's many times I've had to increase my plan to the 500 webinar platform, and then there's times where I'm not doing as many promotional advertising with the webinar, so I back it down. They let you do that and they carry your credit and move it around for you, which is really helpful for me. So signing up with the most inexpensive way. Does anybody know, is it still $9 or has it got up to $12 or something just to have a meeting? Kathy, you know? You're still muted. Here, you're mute, yeah.
I typed it.
Oh, you typed it. What's the answer?
$15. I just upgraded from the free to 15 because I actually did my first webinar Monday night, and I think they only allow you 40 minutes total time unless you pay. So
okay.
I went ahead and paid the $14.99, whatever it was. And I got to tell you this.
Okay.
I forgot to record the darn thing.
Oh, well, that happens. Yeah.
So I redid it last night. I said, oh, it's your lucky day. I have to redo this webinar. Come, you have another chance to see it.
Awesome. So you did an encore presentation. And I've had to do that too. I had an epic fail on one of my webinars because of the technology. I forgot to record the first 10 minutes. And I was like, what a freaking disaster. So I recuperated. It was one of my first launches I did. I recovered with an encore and I did $52,000 on it. I mean, with an encore, because the first one was like 5 people signed up and I'm like, uh-oh, right? And then I got some feedback. They were like, well, I missed the first part and the sound was off. And I'm like, that sucks. Let me do it again. And so always remember, technical glitches happen, but that's not the end all be all. Don't panic. Don't sweat about it. Don't have hives and stay awake all night. Just schedule an encore. You can make it up. So that's good to know about the Zoom, but I want you to unmute again and tell me what comes with the $15 now, because I signed up right when they opened and I haven't looked back. So
I don't know for sure. I think it was up to 100 people.
Mm-hmm.
And they offer you the cloud recording. I actually, when I signed up, I was looking for all of the things that you use that they do not offer at that level.
Which ones? What pieces?
That would be the reminders, the 1 week, 1 hour, 1
Okay.
day.
Yes.
You'll get that included with it. And the replay.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't get that automatically, but you can record it to the cloud or your computer.
Okay.
I think there was one other thing that I didn't get that you normally use.
Okay.
Upgraded version. I think it's an additional $40 a month.
Yeah. I think my fee right now is like, I think it's $140 a month or something like that. It was higher than that before. But anyway, the point is that it is an amazing platform to talk to your clients, to hold classes, hold groups. So even if you start with the free one, you could do like free 30-minute Q&A, and you can send that link out and have people sign up and get to know who you are. And then the busier you get, you can upgrade. So just keeping that in mind. And again, their customer service is great. All right, so Facebook group resources. So, and I know we're talking about outsourcing too, but I'm just going to go through this anyway. It might be helpful for somebody. So Michelle McGlade has written a guide to help with the overwhelm of starting Facebook groups. If you don't have a Facebook group, get one open right now, today. Add me as your person. I'll be your first person, because you have to have one person to open the group. So you can add me if you want to. I'm totally fine with that. It doesn't matter to me if I look like I've got 7,000 groups in my name. But anyway, having that group is a great way to interact. And it's also, honestly, the way that I have found you guys to actually work with me. Like I wouldn't know, I probably wouldn't know Kathy, I probably wouldn't know Claudia, and be able to have these relationships if I had not opened a group and started having, like, kind of watching how people communicate, how they share, what their personality is like. And I'm always looking at that. Just know that I am watching. In that Clarity group, I know we have a couple thousand people, but I know the personalities and the trades of most of the people that are regulars in there. But it's a great way to also find people, what are they passionate about? Can they help you with your business? So never discount that idea. If you're opening a group to clients, you never know who's going to be in there. You might have someone that's needing help with their health that is a secretary or a retired administrator that's bored and that wants to help you at home. You never know. Just keep your eyes open for people like that. Okay, so let's trademarks and copywriting. Oh, geez, this is another area. I just want to hire someone to do it. So I did. But there's still pieces that I don't understand. Is anybody like one of these people who knows all about trademarks and copyrights and is like, no? Oh, geez. Okay, so as you develop content, as you build your business, as you come up with taglines like no question goes unanswered, no need goes unmet. That's my tagline for my business, for the Institute. As you do that, you're going to get those little nigglings in the back of your head that say, oh gosh, should I protect that? Oh gosh, do I need to worry about that? Is that something I need to trademark or copyright or whatever? So keep that in mind. Keep LegalZoom in mind for a place that you can go look up. And you can also hire Lisa, but she is not cheap for trademarking. She is very thorough. She does a great job, but again, so just keep in mind, you want to protect your stuff. You want to be careful about your content and your information. And let me say this too about copywriting. On anything that you create, you can use the copywriting symbol, okay? You don't have to have copyrighted it through the copyright office, but you can use the symbols. Everybody know how to make the symbol on their computer? Do you have a PC, Kathy? Okay, so on a Mac, so unmute yourself real quick. On a Mac, you hit Option and G, and it shows the copyright symbol. So hold on, I'll show you what it looks like. Right there on the bottom. So see that? So I hit Option and G, 2017 Carmen Hunter. Is every single word of my content copyrighted? Oh my gosh, no way. Because I've got thousands of documents. There's no way I could copyright them all. But when you put that on your content and the things that you're creating, it just kind of puts out like the back off hand symbol up to people, like back off, this is mine. They don't know if you filed for copyright or not. You legally can use that sign. Okay, it's not illegal to use that sign. You don't even have to be in the process of copywriting it. So with copywriting, the thing is when you copyright something, let's say I copyright this phrase right here, open up shop. And I send that into the copyright and it's not It's not a one-step thing. You have to, it's not easy. I have copyrighted the food guide as it stands, but I don't know that I'll ever do it again. If you change a word in this phrase, you have to resubmit again for a new copyright. So if I took the word out of "it's a great idea," it is now no longer copyrighted. That means I've changed it. So just keep that in mind when you start thinking about copywriting stuff. Like you change it, you gotta do it again. And resubmission should be easy, but I'm just saying it's not necessary. All right, open up shop. This is another great low risk, reduced liability way to, and it's kind of an outsourcing thing really, because you're letting your shop do the work for you. So setting up a store like Amazon on your site, I have had mine up for a couple of years and it has saved me time, because if someone asks me what kind of magnesium I recommend, I say I have a shop on my website. You can go out there and see that. Or if they say, you know, what kind of collagen do you use? It's on my website, carmenhunterhealth.com, shop. Look under the shop. That's me telling them where they can find general information, which is what this is all about. And I don't have to tell them, and I don't have to go out there and find it and find the link and share it and all that. They can do that work. If they want to buy the collagen that I use, they can go out and find it. And that's a really easy way to just kind of outsource that part of your business, so you're not constantly sending links and information to people. And there is a, let's see here. I guess I did put this in here. I was going to say April Lewis. I have a thing about affiliate marketing. So we talk a little bit about affiliate marketing, which is kind of what Amazon is. Sort of, because you're taking their link and you're using it and sharing it. Does everybody know how to do that with Amazon? Yeah, how to use how to grab their affiliate link when you're sharing stuff? You do? Okay. All right. So because you don't even have to have a shop to do it. You can simply grab the text from up in the bar and send it to your client if someone asks you about that. Okay, so there's a lot more than this, you guys. There's all kinds of stuff. We've already talked, like if you don't have the Kickstart guide, please make sure you get it, because it's loaded with information for new coaches and people who maybe are stuck and wondering what they need. I cover insurance, taxes, business information, looking up your state for all of that. So anyway, that's that on the outsourcing conversation. I just want to make sure that everybody understands how cute my kid is. Every time I see that, I'm like, he is like a teenager. He's only 12. Anyway, so just keeping in mind that, you know, if there's something you feel dread or something you feel uncomfortable about or something you don't know about and don't want to know about, find someone to do it for you. Kathy, what is it the last thing I threw at you that I didn't want to do? What was that? Oh, it was make a list of all the people that are going for free into the Institute, right? That list?
No, that's fine. No, I don't mind doing that.
See, I hate it. I don't even want to think about it. I looked at that list and I was like, I want to pull my eyeballs out right now and not ever look at this list again. And Kathy was like, I'll do it. I'm like, thank you. So, yeah. Okay. And tell me, I'm sorry?
One thing is, you know what's funny is when we were discussing what I like to do and things like that.
Yeah.
You remember what I put on there? You must not have seen it. I'm not fond of writing.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, I didn't see that. But really, aren't you just kind of pulling information and tucking it into paragraphs? I mean, you did an amazing job at it.
Thank you.
Okay, but if you don't want to do it, just tell me. I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. Okay. Okay, and then, yeah, I'm forcing you to. But let me ask you this too, while you're on. Yeah. If you have people working for you, this kind of goes to the outsourcing conversation as well. How are you with Toggle? Is Toggle.com easy to use to track? Are you using that or?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, Toggle.com is a way for people to track their hours. So if you hire somebody and you want them to track their hours, you know, that's an easy website to use. Mike uses it. He sends me his hours in Toggle.com too. So anyway, it is important to just kind of have that, because if you are paying someone, you've got to, there are times when you're sending that money through PayPal, because I pay Kathy through PayPal. If my accountant wants to see the hours that I paid her for, then it's helpful for me to have a printout. So it doesn't just look like I'm just pretending to pay Kathy for something just to make money back or to write something off. So that's a good resource as well. It is also a good idea. So when someone starts working for you, that you ask them to track their hours. Don't buy a program and try to, you know, set up a team on a program. If you're just hiring one or two people, ask them to do it for them, you know, on Toggle. Toggle's free, isn't it? Mike uses the free version. Yeah. No need for that. Okay. All right. Okay. How much ballpark to trademark names? Okay. Ballpark. Let me just say that I am trademarking the Institute for Functional Health Coaching, and I am making installments on it. So I am making payments. You know what? I'll pull it up and tell you what it is actually. I think I actually, and one of the reasons why I'm doing payments on it is because it was, I mean, along with all the money I'm dropping on the website, and just to even get the website or get the school open, I just could not manage another big chunk like this at one time. It overwhelmed me to think about. Let's see here. Here's the receipt. Hold on a minute. So it's $287 a month, I think, is what I'm paying for the trademarking part. And I think I stretched it out over 12 months. What's that? How much is that? Or is it 6 months? Either way, it's a lot of money. I'm pretty sure it was a 12-month payment thing I set up or something. I'll look at it for sure, but it's not cheap if you go through Lisa. But I trust her, and I know she's going to do a good job with it. Now, some people are. Someone actually told me they did the trademark process themselves. I think it was Jody actually. She did that with the help of an attorney, and it was only a couple $100. So if you could find someone that knows it. The one tip I want to say here, though, is if you are trademarking something for online use, then you need to make sure that that attorney or that person understands online work too, because it's a different process. It's not as simple as trademarking a name of a bakery or something like that locally. There's a whole different aspect to it because people can copy and paste and use information. Does that make sense? Yeah. So there's a little loophole to it, but I'm not quite sure. I can't remember what it was. 36. Really? 3,600? Okay. See, that's why I didn't do it. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to do it at one time. So anyway, it would have been too much. Okay. Anything you guys want to talk about? I know, weight loss. Was it you, Claudia, that wanted to talk about the weight loss thing? Okay. Hold on. Okay.
Yeah, because somebody, like, I've always kind of gone back and forth with the whole weight loss thing. I hate kind of pushing it, but I'm always attracting, and I know because it's a big problem for people, especially women my age, and they're getting older, and it's like you gain it very easily. So every now and then I get like these frantic messages like, how do I lose 10, 15 pounds? And what do you think of this shake? And it's like, I just want to be able to, give them a better idea of how to do it. I mean, I have an idea, but I don't know. I figured you'd have some other insights.
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask you this. Is it coming to you? Is it something that seems to be coming at you like you're dodging bullets? Like, why can't people stop asking me about this topic? Why is it always in my inbox? Like once a day, someone asks me about weight loss, or once every couple days?
No, not that much. But
okay.
It's something that I've just noticed that people are struggling with. And it's always like, 5, 10 pounds here or there, or like somebody like my sister recently, she lost like 30 something pounds. And within like a couple of months, she gained like 15 back. And I mean, she is my like ideal client, and like her age is the people that I've been working with and who I attract. So when she does stuff or I hear her struggles, I know that like other people are struggling with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's think. The reason I asked about if it's something that's coming at you regularly is because there's an opportunity. I always see everything as an opportunity. I'm like, So what I would consider doing is creating an opt-in or a handout or something you can easily attach. I don't know if you start it with like the top 10 things that people struggle with to lose weight, or the top 10 things you should know about weight loss, or the top 10 myths of weight loss, whatever you want to name it. You're a good writer. But within that document, here's how I approach things with weight loss. First of all, it's never just about the food. So you can even say that as an intro. Weight loss is never just about the food or the movement or the exercise. There's a lot to consider. So you do an intro that explains why those things are underneath it, right? Explain to them it's about so much more. Hormones, this, stress, blah, blah, blah. Here are the top whatever things that I'm going to tell you to consider if you've reached a plateau, or if you want to try to lose weight. And then make a list of those things with resources if you want to. But that looks like something like this. This is what I tell everyone that says to me, I just can't lose that 10 pounds. I'm like, maybe you're not supposed to. Maybe you're not supposed to lose that 10 pounds. Maybe not right now. Like maybe that's your ideal weight, right? So trying to force our body into a place that it's not supposed to go only makes it stay longer and harder because we stress ourselves out about it. So I like to tell people that, these are the top reasons why people may not lose weight or plateau. So those are obviously your hormones, right? You're talking about not just your thyroid though. We're talking about estrogen. We're talking about all that. Then I talk about stress. So hormones, stress, what we're putting in our mouths, toxic overload on our skin and our environment. Make your top list of things that prevent people from losing weight. So then when they ask you, well, how do I lose the 10 pounds? I don't want to look at your list. Say, well, I can't help you then. because it's in the list. The answer is in the list. Because once you go through the list, you then will find the answer in yourself. Because what's going to come out is, well, I eat clean, I don't eat gluten, this is this, but you know what? Every time the fertilizer comes and sprays my beautiful lawn, I feel sick and sluggish and I bloat. Okay, well, that would be a toxic overload. Okay, but some of those things people don't think about. They don't realize that their body, what their body does, we're talking about body burden here, is it responds to the environment and the things we put on our skin, we put on our hair, we put in our eyes, or we put in our mouth, whatever. And it doesn't just necessarily cause like fatigue, a week later. It could be an immediate reaction. For example, this is a great example. I started progesterone drops. It's been a week, I think, because I was getting horrible cramps in my legs, right? And I'm trying not to go on about myself, but let me just say this. I want all my hormones in a different bottle. I want estrogen or estradiol. I want progesterone. I want testosterone. Don't put it all in one bottle. I don't want it all in one bottle because I don't know what's working and I can't play with it the way that my body needs to play with it according to my life. Well, my doctor disagreed. So he gave me a bottle with every single hormone in it. It didn't work. And finally I said, can you please just do it the way I want to do it? Give me some progesterone so I don't wake up with cramps in my legs anymore. I'm about to kick my husband out of bed. So he gave me some. Within 3 days, I gained 5 pounds. Nothing about my life had changed except adding 4 drops of progesterone. That's it. 4 drops a day. I'm 5 pounds heavier, can't button my shorts comfortably. I'm like, what the heck? Okay, so if I were a person that was not aware that hormones play that part or that my body could react immediately to something that's external, I would be off the rails right now. If I were a normal person, I would be running my neighborhood. Really? I would literally be running my neighborhood and I would be eating a piece of lettuce while I did it. But I'm able to talk myself off that ledge, which is what us health coaches are supposed to do. We're supposed to say, hey, you know what? That's life. 5 pounds happens. And this is why. And now you know. So go back down on the progesterone to 1 a day or whatever it is you have to do, whatever that person has to do. But if people don't know these pieces about how our weight can respond, they are ever going to chase the shake. They're going to chase the weight. They're going to exercise too much and they're going to stop eating. So that's my answer to weight. It's not a one sentence elevator speech. It is a create an easy way for yourself to answer that question in a way that's an opportunity for you. I would absolutely 100% right now create an opt-in sheet, and that's what it would be. And I would put it on my page and just wait until the people start rolling in. But you have a catchy tag on that opt-in that tells people like you are going to blow them out of the water because you aren't going to talk about a shake. You're not going to talk about how to exercise more. Have something really unique that speaks to people about that weight problem and use it. I bet that becomes that's going to become a niche for you or something. Even if you don't want it to.
I did that. What did you say?
Even if you don't want it to be, it's going to be.
No, I know. That's kind of what happens in my life. I don't think I'm going to do something and then I kind of get thrown into it, but it's what works.
Yeah.
That's what, I had my weight loss program that I started last fall and I've been running it here and there and every time I just keep tweaking it. I think my issue is just the marketing part of it and maybe I'm not speaking enough to the weight loss. So yeah, I'm going to try something a little bit different this upcoming one. But yeah, that's actually a good opt-in for it. That'll be great.
Yeah. And you know what? Here's the other thing that I think we need to try and help people feel comfortable with as a client that comes to us, that we need to help them to understand that our body is doing what it needs to do and what it's supposed to do for what's happening in our life in that moment. And so even if that means you've got a lot going on, right? You're stressed out, your kids running right and left, and your body's putting on a little bit of weight, it's probably going into survival mode because you're stressed out. It's doing that for a reason. So instead of trying to, put the Band-Aid on of changing our food and changing this, we need to go after the reason it's happening. Well, stress is happening. So can we go after the reason of stress and not focus so much on the things that we put in our mouth and how we're moving our body? That's for me. It's, for me, when I work with my clients, it's a puzzle. I like to take it completely apart, shake it up a lot, like a 1,000-piece puzzle, shake it up, lay it out on the table, and then start over. You know what I mean? So if someone could put an entire puzzle together and 2 pieces could be missing and they can't figure it out, I'll take it all apart. I will. And they'll be like, no, look. I'm like, well, if you can't figure it out, why would you leave it that way? Let's start from scratch. So that's the way it is with weight for me. I truly believe that, so many women are focused on the wrong dang thing. They truly are. So that's the other thing that can be kind of a way to talk to people about it too. Like, you're focusing on the wrong thing. I have your answers, right? But then, they get the sheet and then you say the answers are within you. You just need some of this to guide you there. That's really all we are, just guiding them. We're conduit to information.
Right.
As long as they're willing to open their brains and their minds and their bodies and everything to hearing the answer, right? Yeah. I'm telling you, I've got a family member, I'm not going to say who it is, but just complete denial about everything. Like, I don't have a thyroid problem. I'm like, okay. I'm exercising every day. I'm like, we're doing the wrong kind. She literally put on 40 pounds. We don't speak, but I see pictures of her and I'm like, what is going on there? This person is in denial about everything in her life. She is in complete denial about her life, about her relationship with her kids, about the way she treats people. Just a walking toxic garbage dump of a human being.
I got one of those.
Yeah.
I got one. I had to distance myself because I was the only one who could help her, quite frankly. She's been to doctor after doctor after doctor. And at one point she said to my mom, oh, Claudia's not a doctor.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get that. And obviously no doctor has helped you, but hey, keep going at the rate you're going.
That's what I've been to. You just let them go. Just go away, let go of that balloon, let them fly away. Yeah. But those are the people that, those are the people I don't want to work with anyway. But so when they come to you and they are the ones that are like that, right? Then their denial list is so long that there's no amount of clean food in their mouth and no movement that's ever going to change them. And so you want the people that want that, I've got the answers. And they're like, I'll take it, anything. They're willing to do the work, right? Yeah. Okay. So is that good? A good little intro? Okay. Awesome. Okay. So let's see here. Yeah. Kathy say no magic pill, stress, sleep, low fat, artificial sweeteners. Oh, by the way, our girl Allison, you guys, that we did the one-off with, the client, you all remember her, Allison? We did the one-time session. She hasn't had a Diet Coke since the day after that class. And she was drinking 3 a day. And she's like, I feel like I saw her today. She's like, I feel like my brain is kind of open again. Cause it's neurotoxic. Like, anybody doesn't know, aspartame or whatever is neurotoxic. She feels so much better. Okay. Kathy says progesterone drops. I have all my class. Yeah. Do a survey and they all want to lose weight and have more energy. Okay. Yes. Progesterone drops. Are you asking me what they are or why I'm on them or no? Yeah.
Yeah. I did a progesterone cream.
Yeah.
The Dutch test with Maria. I didn't realize they had a drop formula as well.
It's compounded. Yeah. So my pharmacist and I had a meeting today. She loves me, not really, but, and she knows me. She said a cream came through on the fax the other day. And she said, no, we can't do this for Carmen because it has soy lecithin in it, or it has soy as emulsifier in it. And then it had some sulfate or something. So that's why it took 2 days to get my prescription right for these other hormones. And she knows me that well, but she's like, we need to do a straight drop with no fillers and nothing in it. And so that's what they do. It literally looks like this. It looks like water. And it's just a topical drop. That it's like 3 months. I'm going to have 3 months of it because I don't have to spread it. And honestly, I've used the cream before. Yeah. Maria, she probably likes, a cream for her, whatever her reason she has, but I've done creams in the past. I don't have enough body space for a cream. Has anybody ever tried to put a cream on? For a hormone cream that it's like rub one pump on the inside of thigh or the thinnest part of your body, right? I had so much cream. I was covered insides of my thighs all the way to my ankles and the insides of my arms. And I was like, you can't touch anything either till it dries. So I literally came out of the bathroom the first time I tried progesterone cream. And I was like, no one touch me because it rubs off on your dogs, your husband, your kid. I'm like, and then I just walked around flapping everything I had so it would dry. I'm like, never again. So that's why I don't use creams. That's more than you wanted to know, but I just can't do it. Okay, yeah, a pea-sized drop that's a whole arm, and then up here too. Yes, it is. Anyway, okay. So we're going off into no man's land. Anybody want to ask anything else about hormones? I almost said, but outsourcing questions, anything like that. Did you find this helpful at all today? I know a lot of people we hang on to our money, we clutch it tightly, and then we say we want to make money. We want to have abundance in our life, but we're going to hang on to our money. I want you guys to step out of that mindset, really look into, getting some input. I love, the Badass book by Jen Sincero about money. I love that book. I know, Claudia, you listened to it too. And okay. And you did too. It's amazing. It's just amazing, right? It can just really shift your brain. You're like, wow, that was me. Why was I thinking like that? And then the other book that I posted the other day, and I typically don't use this word verbally, but the book Unfuck Yourself. it is amazing. Have anybody listened to it yet or watched or read it? Oh my gosh. Okay. So do that. Okay. Like get it on Audible. He's got a great little accent. He tells it with flair. It is amazing. The things that I was thinking that I had under control about the way that I think and the way that I live my life that I totally did not. So it was another big shifter for me. So be open to changing, be open to changing your ideas about money and your ideas about you doing business. And Dawn, I remember when we talked this morning, it was this morning, right? You said that you came from a typewriter, right? Yeah. So you feel technically challenged. Go ahead and unmute yourself. I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Yeah. See, look, you unmuted yourself. You're not technically challenged.
Oh, no.
You have no idea. But let me tell you how many times I have had people, you'll see them. I'll say, well, can you unmute yourself for a second? And then it's like this. It's like 2 minutes of this. And I'm like, right there, right there. I almost want to reach to the screen and hit the button and never get it. I'm like, never mind. We'll talk later. So tell me, what's your biggest challenge with technology coming from a typewriter? Because I did too.
Well, and I kind of shared with you, but I was doing corporate wellness and I was chugging along pretty good. And then now I have all these vision issues, so I can't drive. So I've had to transform. I'm in the process of making everything online. So, but the best thing I did was I hired someone to do my website, and Claudia's little opt-in will be in there for her Conquer Cravings. I hired a junior at the university to blog because I hate to write. And her whole family did my program in January, and they've lost over 100 pounds as a family.
What?
So they're like, she's very transparent, somebody that knows, my ways.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, but it's true. Like, and it's just like that sense of relief because I know nothing. Like, he said, you need to come up with landing pages. And I've even reached out to Claudia because I'm like, wait a minute, automations, landing pages. I don't even know what that means, and so it's been a whole different world for me. It's been very overwhelming, but it's been the best money I spent so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did I've actually got one of the lessons in the Institute I did my last recording on yesterday was all about launching and terminology, opt-in, landing page, automation. And I actually define those things, just the very basics about launching, because it's a new world. It's like stepping onto Mars. I mean, it truly, for me, it was anyway. And that was another thing. I mean, I tell the story all the time about how much money I paid to have someone help me launch. I wish that she would have just taken it and done it for me, but I had to learn the process, but I paid her a ton of money to show me those pieces and teach it to me because it was overwhelming, but worth it. I mean, worth it after it was all said and done. So, yeah. Right. Okay. So go ahead.
We have a business in our area. It's called the Launch League, where it's for like entrepreneurs that are just starting. So they guided me to like somebody to help me with my website, and he's doing it at 50% off. And I mean, and this guy's amazing. He's just developed a grid method for schools. And he's done a lot of other coaches too. So I kind of it's just crazy how I found him, but it's been working out pretty good so far.
That's awesome. So let me ask you this. Let's go back to your people real quick. That has lost all that weight. Did they have they done a testimonial for you yet?
Yeah, they have.
Have they done a video testimonial as a family?
They haven't, me in videos.
Okay. So this is a great opportunity to ask them to literally sit down in front of a camera. They can do this without you. They do it and then they send it to you as a family. Do a testimonial as a family. Oh my gosh. Like, see, there goes my wheels spinning. Because that is something that you could totally, I don't know if that's something you'd want to do, but to help a family lose that much weight and get healthy, you could be that person for families. I mean, you could do family groups, where you hold the hands of the families for 3 months. You could do a group classes for people who want to bring their kids in. And I mean, but I would get that video testimonial of that whole family together.
Right. I tease her because she's like, the mom's like a walking billboard. Like, she looks beautiful. I mean, I just can't believe the difference she looks. And I probably have gotten 10 of her friends because like, we want to do what Terry did, and
that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. And it's a word of mouth. I mean, building your business on a referral is it's the way to be, to me, in my opinion, because, You know what? What's a better testimony than someone to say, like, that person did this for me? You know what I mean? You can look at ads all day long, and you're not going to get that feeling that you get from someone saying, look what Dawn did for me. But I would see if they'll do that for you as a family. That would be so cool. I would love to see it too. Yeah. Okay. Do you have an outline for people to do testimonies? Like, you have to give people some tips, because otherwise you're going to get like black faces. And like, no, the lighting's going to be bad. Do you have like an outline to give people on how to do a testimonial?
It's on my website. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's the IAN testimonial still, but it's at least gives them some kind of guideline.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cause I got one that was supposed to be fantastic. She was one of my best, and I couldn't see her face, and I thought she was crying the whole time. She was like, I loved Carmen because, and I was like, I'm not going to put that on my website. You sound miserable. Like, it sounds like I'm like holding a gun to your head in a darkened room or something. Like, so I couldn't even use it. And Kathy, you're laughing, but it's true. It was really bad. And I was like, thank you. And I was hoping she wouldn't ask to see it. You know what I mean? Because I didn't use it. But you're like, oh my gosh. Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, I want to see that. Let me know if they do it for you.
I will.
That would be super cool. And share your story too. Like, with some of the coaches in our group too, like, talk about how you did that. I mean, like, cause I know that coaches want to work and see that kind of, accomplishment with people. It's just really inspirational. So would love if you wanted to type up a little something and share how you did it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. It's time to go get my kid. All right, you guys, thanks for joining today. I hope that was helpful. I will, I'm going to load the outsourcing, that one little file in there. I'll load it into the Health Coach Mentorship files for you guys. So you can access some of those links too if you're interested. And then as always, reach out, and I hope you guys can be here tomorrow with Taylor too. I'll let you know if anything changes, but I think she's on the up and up, and that we should be good to go tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Okay. All right, you guys. See you later. Thanks. Bye.
Carmen,
Bye.
can I just show you my baby?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh look. Hello.
He's not supposed to be there.
Oh, is that why the face? Did you see that face? It's like, I'm just going to look from the side. Here, let me show you mine. Hold on. And here, I'll show you what my room looks like. Hold on a second. I don't know how to turn it around, so I'm just going to show you.
I don't either.
All right, you see
Oh, gosh.
Oh, there they come. Here they come. Oh, there's Roscoe and Daisy, and then there's Lucky.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. Look, Roscoe's like, I want to be right there where you are. Look at all their little things. Hi, guys. Okay, I guess it's time. I'm getting nudged. He's like nudging my hand. All right. Thanks for sharing. See you guys later. Bye. What are you guys doing? What are you doing?